how do we communicate with a website. Most of you probably know this already, but I will mention it in this video just so we can get a quick refresher. We explained all of these attacks in the previous video, but it's important we know the basics behind communication between a client and a website. So we send requests and receive pages back with the help of HTTP requests and HTTP responses. HTTP request is something that we send to the website once we want to get a certain web page from that website. And HTTP response is a response from the website telling us that either it found the page that we were looking for or it didn't. HTTP response also contains an HTML code of that web page that we requested. Now, this would be a basic explanation of the process. But let us also take a look at how an HTTP request and an HTTP response look like. So if we take a look at this image right here, in the red letters we can see HTTP request to some web page, while in the blue letters we see an HTTP response. Let us focus first on HTTP request. So some of the known fields from the HTTP request would be ones you see in the image. We got hosts, and that field defines the website domain that you're searching for. Sometimes this field can also have a port number, due to web servers sometimes hosting more than one website. Besides that, we also got the user agent field, and this field is used by server to identify the client that is connecting to the server. By identifying, I mean it will usually identify the web browser that the client is using. HTTP request can also have cookies, which we can't see here in this picture, but what cookies are values exchanged between a client and the server that are used for holding data and information about a certain session that the user has. Sometimes an HTTP request can also have authorization parameter, which is used to check for the identity. With this parameter, usernames and passwords are sent to the website. On the other hand, we got an HTTP response, which also has some special fields of its own. First thing we see is the status code. Now, a field called status code doesn't exist, but the value will be stored in the first line of the response. Most of you encountered at some point an 404 error once you try to search for a certain web page, and 404 in this case is a status code. In this picture, we can see a status code of 200, which indicates that the page exists and that we loaded it successfully. Besides this, we got set cookie field, and this field, if defined, will establish values of cookies to the client. This value server can use later to identify the client and to also store client's data. We also got field called cache control, and this field is used if the content of the response should get stored inside the browser of the client or not. And we also got content length that will tell us size of the response in bytes. Below all of these fields, we can see HTML tags opening, and down there is the web page that we requested from this website. It sends us the web page code that will then get rendered inside of our browser, and it will show us the web page. Simple as that. Great. Now that we refreshed our memory about this, let us finally start attacking websites. See you in the next video.